Good morning, student. Today we will discuss our 7th unit, Physiology and Injury in Sports. Physiology, it is a study of human body and its effect. In physiology, we study how the different organs and its systems functions and its effect, how it interrelated with each others, etc. In this, we study physiological factors determining strength, determining endurance, strength, speed, flexibility, etc. First, physiological factors. Physiological determining endurance. What are the physiological factors that determine endurance? First, endurance, it is the ability of a person to resist fatigue, means ability of a person to continue an activity for a long period of time. It is two types, aerobic endurance and anaerobic endurance. Aerobic endurance, this type of endurance is helpful when the activity is done for a long period of time and the speed is slow, for examples in marathon running, road cycling, etc. Anaerobic endurance, this type of endurance is required when the activity is done for short period of time and the speed is fast, for example in swimming, wrestling, boxing, etc. Physiological factors determining endurance. First, maximum oxygen intake, or this physiological factors, physiology and injury in sports we have studied in our last video. We are discussing quick revisions of endurance. First, maximum oxygen intake or uptake. Oxygen intake means the amount of oxygen which can be taken by the lungs from the atmosphere, and oxygen uptake means the amount of oxygen which can be consumed and absorbed by the working muscles from the blood. So, if the oxygen uptake increase, then the endurance of a person will increase. Pulmonary diffusion, pulmonary diffusion, it is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between lungs and blood. So if the pulmonary diffusion increase, then there will be the fast exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen, which result in improving the endurance of a person. Cardiac output. Cardiac output, it is the amount of blood pumped out by the heart in 1 minute. So if the cardiac output increase, more blood will be pumped out by the heart, which result in increasing the endurance, because if more blood is pumped out by the heart, then more oxygen reaches to the working tissue, which help to delay fatigue. Therefore, the endurance of a person's improve. Endurance of a person's will increase. Aerobic capacity. Aerobic capacity. If the aerobic capacity of a person increase, then he can do the workout for a long period of time. which increase his endurance. Lactic threshold. Lactic. Whenever we do exercise, lactic acid produce, due to which we feel fatigue. So, if the ability of a person to tolerate lactic acid increase, then there will be the less fatigue. There will be the delay in fatigue, which increase endurance. Okay, lactic threshold means ability to tolerate lactic acid. If the ability to tolerate lactic acid increase, then there will be the delay in fatigue. The person's delay in fatigue, tiredness, which result in increasing the endurance of a person. Blood volume. Blood volume and flow. If the flow of blood increase, then there will be the fast circulation of blood. More oxygen rich blood, more nutrients will reach to the working muscles, which help to increase endurance of a person. Red muscle fiber. Red muscle fiber. Red muscle fibers, it is also known as slow twist muscle fibers. The persons who has more red muscle fibers, he has more endurance, because red muscle fibers contain more oxygen, the hemoglobin. The oxygen in red muscle fibers is more. Therefore, if the red muscle fibers in a person is more, then his endurance will be more. And hydration. If we do exercise, there will be the loss of waters due to sweating. If the person is hydrated, then it helps to delay fatigue. These are the physiological factors which help to determine endurance. Next is physiological factors. What are the physiological factors that determine strength? Strength. Strength, it is the ability. First student, what is strength? Strength, it is the ability of a muscle to overcome resistance. It is of two types, static and dynamic. Static means ability. It is the ability of a person, it is the ability of muscle to overcome resistance from a fixed point. There is no movement. For example, pushing a wall, you are using the force, but there is no movement. And dynamic, it is the ability to overcome resistance while in motion. There is movement, and it is of three types. Maximum strength, explosive, and last strength. Maximum strength. Maximum strength means ability to overcome maximum resistance from a single contraction. For example, in weightlifting, you have to overcome maximum resistance from a single contraction. Explosive strength. Explosive strength means ability to overcome resistance with high speed. For example, in jumping, kicking, you have to overcome resistance with high speed. And strength endurance means ability to overcome resistance under the condition of fatigue. Okay, you are in condition of fatigue, then also you have to overcome resistance. for example in swimming, marathon running, road cycling, etc. So here's we discuss what are the physiological factors that determine strength. First is muscle covering, muscle sarcomere. Muscle covering sarcomere. Muscle fibers. The muscle fiber covering sarcomere. It's had to bind the muscle fibers. Therefore, the muscle covering sarcomere bind the muscle fiber to work together. So, if the muscle covering sarcomere increase, then the strength of muscles will increase. Next is white muscle fiber. White muscle fibers, also known as fast twist muscle fibers. Okay, white muscle fibers, also known as fast twist muscle fibers. The person who has white muscle fibers, they have more strength, because in white muscle fibers, if the white muscle fiber increase, then it have to increase capillaries, which have to increase connective tissue, which have to increase the strength of the muscles. Now next is muscle contraction, muscular contraction. If the muscular contraction increase, it is of two types, concentric and eccentric. Concentric means upward movement, for example dumbbell up, and eccentric means downward movement. So if the muscle contraction increase, then it's have to increase the strength. Muscle length, the length of the muscles are different, and usually if the length of the muscle is more, then the strength of the persons will more. Okay, long muscles have more strength as compared to short muscles. The length of the muscles also determine the strength. Long muscles have more strength. Nerve impulse. Nerve impulse. If the nerve impulse increase, that will be the fast. If the nerve impulse increase, then there will be the strong nerve impulse. There will be the powerful contractions. Fast. There will be the fast contractions of the muscles, which have to increase the strength. And next is adequate energy. Adequate energy. If the energy increase, then the strength of a person will increase. Adequate energy. Adequate energy, greater the number of mitochondria, it have to increase more energy. So if the energy increase, then the strength of a person will increase. Age. Usually the persons between the 20 to 40, they have more strength as compared to oldest person. Okay, usually the age between 20 to 40, they have more strength. Gender. Male have more strength as compared to female due to their physiological factors, due to the size and length of the muscles, etc. And body weight. Body. The persons who is overweight, they have more strength as compared to the person those who are underweight, okay, overweight. Body weight, it also determines the strength. Usually the person who is fit and heavy, they have more strength as compared to the person who is lean and thin. Myoglobin. Myoglobin, it contain contain the oxygen, which is myoglobin. It is a type of myoglobin. It is a type of protein which is present in muscle fibers, and it produces the energy during emergency. So if the myoglobin content increase, then it have to increase the strength, because it's have to produce energy during emergency. These are the physiological factors which help to determine the strength. Next is, what are the physiological factors that determine speed? Next is about the speed. Speed, it is the ability of a person to do an activity as fast as possible in a minimum time. How fast you can do the activity in a minimum time. It is of 4 time. It is of 4 time reaction time. Reaction time. Reaction time means the ability of a person to react immediately to a signal. How fast the body reacts to a signal. Acceleration. Acceleration means ability of a body to achieve his maximum speed. How fast the person achieve his maximum speed. Speed of movement. Speed of movement means how fast the persons complete the actions. Okay, minimum time taken by the person to complete the action. And last, locomotor ability. Locomotor ability means ability of a person to maintain maximum speed for a maximum period of time. Ability to maintain maximum speed for maximum period of time with change in direction. These are the type of speed and the factors that determine speed. First is white muscle fiber. White muscle fibers, it is also known as fast twitch muscle fibers. The persons who has more white muscle fibers, they have more speed, because white muscle fibers, it increase the connective tissue. If the connective tissue increase, then the speed of a person's will improve. And neuromuscular response. Neuromuscular. If the neuromuscular response increase, then there will be the speed increase. Okay. If the neuromuscular response increase, higher and faster the neuromuscular response, faster and stronger will be the speed. Flexibility. Flexibility means ability of joint to move maximum range. So if the flexibility increase, then the speed of a person's will increase. The person who is more flexible, his speed is more. ATP energy. ATP energy. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. ATP, if the ATP energy store increase, then the speed of a person's increase, because it's have to provide energy during, it's have to provide oxygen during emergency. And anaerobic capacity. Anaerobic capacity means the capacity of a person to do the activity in the absence of oxygen. So, if the anaerobic capacity of the person is more, then his speed will be more. Speed is more. So, these are the physiological factors which have to determine speed. Next is physiological factors determine flexibility. What are the physiological factors which have to determine flexibility? First student, flexibility. Flexibility means it is the ability of a person, ability of joint to move in maximum range without any pain, and muscles without any pain in joint and the muscles attached toward it. Okay, flexibility means ability to stretch the joint as much as possible without pain. It is of two types: active flexibility and passive. Active flexibility means ability to stretch the joint without any external help. The person stretches the joint as much as possible without any external help. For example, in gymnastics. And passive flexibility means stretching the joint with external help. Okay, it is the ability of a joint to move in stress in maximum range with external help. For example, with the help of partners or with the help of any external equipment, etc. Physiological factors. First is joint articulation. Joint articulations means structure of joint. The flexibility of a person's depend upon the structures of joint. So, the structure of joint articulation, structures of joint, it also determine the flexibility of a person. Ligament elasticity. Ligament, it is the connective tissue that connect bones. Ligament, it is present between the two bones. It connect two bones. So, if the ligament is elastic, if the elasticity of ligament is more, then he will stretch easily without any cramp, tearing. So, the ligament elasticity also determine the flexibility. More the ligament is elastic, flexibility will more. Muscular stretchability. Muscular muscular stretchability, it also determines the flexibility. If the muscle is more stretchable, then the flexibility will be more the stretchability, stretchability of muscles, more will be the flexibility. And disease and disability. Disease and disability. If the person who is disabled, who is affected from any disease or illness, his disability is, his flexibility is less as compared to the person who is fit and healthy. Age also determine the flexibility. Usually the children are more flexible as compared to the adult old age person. Gender, it also determines flexibility. Female, girls are more flexible than male. Warming up. If warming up means increasing the body temperatures, and we do before the training. If we do warming up, then our flexibility will increase because it had to increase the body temperatures. Our joint will become more flexible if we do warming up. And heredity. It also determines the flexibility. If the parents are flexible, then the child, then the chance of child flexibility is also more, okay, because the genes development follow the same patterns. If the parents flexibility is more, if the parents are more flexible, then there is a high chance that the child is also more flexible. These are the physiological factors which have to determine the flexibility. So we have complete the various physiological factors which determine strength, endurance, speed, flexibility, etc. Next, student, physiological. Next is effect of exercise. Effect of exercise on muscular system. Effect of exercise. Exercise on muscular. If we do exercise, what will be its effect on muscular system? First, if we do exercise, the strength of the muscles will increase. Okay, if we do exercise, the strength of the muscles will increase because it helps to increase capillaries, which help in increasing the circulation of blood. Increase efficiency improve. If we do regular exercise, the efficiency of muscles will improve. Okay, the first is strength. Gain in strength, efficiency. If we do exercise, then the efficiency of muscles improve because there will be the, if we do exercise, there will be the proper higher circulation of blood. If the blood circulation increase, then the efficiency of muscles will improve. Lactic stressor. Lactic Whenever we do exercise, lactic acid is produced, due to which we feel fatigue. So if we do exercise, the ability to tolerate lactic acid increase, which helps to delay fatigue. Aerobic and anaerobic. If we do exercise, then the aerobic and anaerobic capacity of a person will increase, which help to delay fatigue. Proper shape of body. If we do exercise, then it's make the persons fit and healthy. The shape of the persons will fit. The persons will remain fit, healthy. Therefore, the personality of a persons will increase. Okay, if we do exercise, the persons will become fit and healthy. His body will remain fit. It's help to remove excess fat from his body. Therefore, the personality of a persons will improve. Faster recovered from injury. If we do exercise, it's help to remove, it's help in fast recovery from the injury, because if the circulation increase, then there will be the fast quick healing of the injury. Faster the circulation of blood, from the healing, quick recovery of injury, there will be the quick recovery of injury. Strength, faster response, faster. If we do exercise, then the response faster, there will be the faster response of the muscles. The muscles will remain active, energetic. The sense, the signal, the stimulus will travel faster. Therefore, there will be the fast response of our muscles. And better neuromuscular coordination, better neuromuscular there will be the better coordinations between nervous system and muscular system if we do exercise. Okay student, this we will discuss in our next video. Okay student, thank you.